We live in the age of instant gratification, where the pursuit of more has tragically replaced the pursuit of meaning. We seek the secrets to a richer existence in fleeting trends, self-help algorithms, and digital gurus. But what if the true, sustainable blueprint for a magnificent life lies not in the next software update, but in the echoes of civilizations long lost? Imagine uncovering ancient rituals and belief systems, from the primordial hunter-gatherer to the highly structured empire, that were so powerful, they literally dictated how people built their cities, ruled their societies, and even conceived of their own identity. We are not here merely to look at ruins. We are here to examine the spiritual bedrock that moved the stone. Today, we journey beyond the superficial facts of history to understand the soul that animated three profound societies. A world where belief preceded agriculture, a society where inner peace was its greatest monument, and an empire built entirely on the engineering of eternity. Prepare to discover the profound, forgotten spiritual practices of our ancestors. Our journey begins 12,000 years ago, at Göbeklitepe, a site so old it forces us to rewrite human history. The long-held narrative stated that necessity, the need for food, drove agriculture, which then led to settled life, and finally led to complex ritual. But Göbeklitepe is proof that the search for God came first. The temple preceded the town. This was built by hunter-gatherers, societies perpetually focused on mere survival. Yet, they organized themselves across vast distances to quarry, transport, and erect monolithic T-shaped pillars weighing up to 20 tons. This Herculean labor, repeated across numerous enclosures, demonstrates a singular, overwhelming spiritual compulsion. The ultimate human priority was not survival itself, but securing a cosmic narrative to make survival worthwhile. Göbeklitepe was a sophisticated cosmic observatory and ritual center. The enigmatic carvings, vultures, wild boars, scorpions, are not random decorations. Chola suggests they are celestial maps, aligned precisely to stellar movements, perhaps even documenting a cataclysmic cometary impact that reset human civilization. The central purpose of their collective effort was to align themselves with the cosmos, to track the great cycles of the sky, and to embed human existence within a divine, eternal order. This reveals a profound truth. The first societal architecture was spiritual architecture. The very act of building the site was the ritual itself, a spiritual debt paid to the heavens to ensure the continued orderly rotation of the cosmos. When one enclosure was complete, it was deliberately and ritually buried beneath tons of earth, preserved like a time capsule before the builders immediately began work on the next. This act of burial signifies a completion, a renewal, and a commitment to a cyclical, ever-evolving spiritual journey. The Göbeklitepe builders remind us that our most profound structures are built not for shelter, but for sanctuary, and that the soul's hunger for meaning is perhaps the oldest human instinct. Moving forward to 4,000 years ago, we encounter the vast, mysterious Indus Valley civilization, a sprawling urban network that challenges every assumption about empire and spiritual power. In Mesopotamia and Egypt, power was broadcast through monuments to the ego, massive royal tombs and statues of warrior kings. But in cities like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, the silence of their spiritual expression is deafening. There are no palaces, no elaborate individual tombs, and strikingly, no evidence of mass warfare. Their architecture is defined by radical uniformity, standardized bricks, and an almost obsessive commitment to advanced sanitation and precise urban planning. This suggests a unique spiritual philosophy, that the highest human achievement is not the projection of individual power, but the maintenance of collective harmony and internal balance. The famed Great Bath at Mohenjo-Daro, a leak-proof public structure, points towards a profound spiritual emphasis on ritual purification. For them, hygiene was not just practical, it was pious. The act of cleansing the body was inextricably linked to the purity of the community's soul. Furthermore, the iconic stay-tight seals found across the cities often depict figures in recognizable yogic or meditative poses. This points towards a spiritual practice heavily rooted in inward discipline, a precursor to later dharmic traditions. Their focus was not on placating external gods with loud sacrifices, but on achieving inner stillness and self-control. The Indus spiritual code was simple yet radical. True strength is found in humility, true holiness is found in equality, and the greatest monument a civilization can build is a perfectly ordered society. Ancient Egypt's spiritual practices were entirely governed by one absolute certainty: eternity. Their civilization was not built for temporal success, but for successful spiritual translation. This began with their complex understanding of the soul, which was not one, but many components, a form of spiritual engineering. At the core were the Ka and Ba. The Ka was the life force, the spiritual double. If the body was preserved through mummification, it could persist. It was the reason for all the offerings placed in the tombs, to keep the Ka nourished and sustained. It was the mobile personality, the aspect of the self that could travel between the tomb and the heavens. The ultimate goal, the purpose of a lifetime, was the successful union of the Ka and Ba to create the Eka, the transcendent, glorious, enduring spirit. This pursuit of eternity was entirely governed by the single cosmic principle of Ma'at, the concept of truth, balance, and cosmic order. Ma'at was the eternal law that ensured the sun rose, the Nile flooded, and chaos, Isfet, was held at bay. Every single Egyptian, from the pharaoh to the farmer, was spiritually obligated to live in accordance with Ma'at. The pharaoh was not just a king, he was the living embodiment of Ma'at on earth, responsible for maintaining cosmic balance through rituals and justice. Therefore, the spiritual practice of every citizen was fundamentally an ethical one. The Great Judgment, the weighing of the heart, was the ultimate spiritual test. The heart, the seat of the soul, had to be lighter than the feather of Ma'at. A life of injustice, cruelty, or excess made the heart heavy, ensuring the soul's annihilation. The entire civilization, from the grain stored in the silos to the prayers chanted in the temples, was a vast, continuous spiritual mechanism designed to preserve Ma'at and guarantee collective and individual eternal life. The empires fell, the cities crumbled, and the languages were lost. Yet, the spiritual wisdom these lost civilizations left behind speaks directly to the crises of our modern age. Their legacy challenges our assumptions about what it truly means to be a successful, thriving human society. From Göbeklitepe, we reclaim the priority of the spiritual. They teach us that the primary human motivation is the search for cosmic belonging. They valued meaning over mere production. When we ignore our need for a cosmic narrative, we build societies that are wealthy in resource, but destitute in spirit. From the Indus Valley, we reclaim the power of inner structure. We learn that the most effective form of spiritual power is decentralized and discipline. Their focus on urban order, hygiene, and inner calm proves that true collective strength flows from personal ethical purity and social equality, not from the dictates of powerful individuals. From ancient Egypt, we reclaim the imperative of eternal ethics. They remind us that our daily actions carry infinite weight. The pursuit of the good life is not a temporary pursuit of happiness, but an ethical obligation to maintain balance, Ma'at, in our homes, our communities, and our planet. Our moral life is our greatest spiritual artifact. These civilizations ultimately faded, but their spiritual genius remains. Perhaps the richer existence we desperately seek is not found in the chaotic pursuit of the new, but in remembering the deep, unwavering importance our ancestors gave to the oldest, most foundational truths: purpose, harmony, and virtue.